I'm recording now, so sorry. So that way you can put it in your group. Sorry about that. So let me recap real quick why that's, the first thing is you figure out your why. Second is your goals. Your third is build your avatar, the person, the target market that you're talking to on social media. And number 4, get out of the calendar. Highlight what times and days that you can work. Put in everything in there, your family time, your kids' dentist appointments, whatever it is, activities, date night, girls' night. Put it in there. So then that way you can go in and look at the holes that you have time or want to work. And if you don't have time with it, I'd say going to, if you maybe you only have 15 minutes a day, use those 15 minutes, take your business serious, use that do a quick mini power hour in 15 minutes. In our group, the Superstars group, I put, there's a description of what a power hour is. If you just search in the search bar, look at the power hour. It gives you very specific tasks to do for like 15 minutes at a time. And you can break that up to smaller increments if you only have 15 minutes a day, or you can do one task out of that, for the day and make it a whole week, and make that your hour during the week. It's whatever you want from your business, and that's, what we're here to support you. So if you don't want to be here to, build a team, you're just a hobbyist, that's a great way to figure out what you want to do with your business, and how much realistically you have time to invest in it. So once you get all of those done, Facebook, and the reason why I'm telling you is this, because social media is very fickle. That's why you guys are having some issues with the Facebook groups, the Facebook parties. But if you start doing those steps, and specifically who you're talking to, you'll start attracting more people. They'll start paying attention. So that's one thing. That's my main there that I always want to kind of go into at first when I'm going more specific and when teams are having some trouble. The next thing I want to go to, unless Katie, you have anything to add to all of that I just said. 30 minutes, yeah.
I mean, I know that we have a couple, like we were talking about, a couple topics. We were wanting to talk about the parties, talking about the holiday stuff, holiday or launches and things like that,
Okay.
and how to approach those kinds of things, but then also recruiting. So I think we're kind of doing a nice segue into all of this. I'm going to try, for those that don't know, Mel Rich, who is on our team, she is incredibly knowledgeable and has amazing tips about Facebook. And I'm trying to convince her to do like a training, either a recorded video or maybe a live on the new Hustlers page. So that way, people can ask questions, or she can just kind of give a list of tips and tricks and stuff as far as Facebook goes. One of the things that I did want to add about parties in terms of the in-person ones, we all know that one of the biggest reasons we're able to be as successful as we are currently is because we don't have to worry about only hosting parties in Tehachapi, or only hosting parties in Ridgecrest, or only hosting parties, where people can actually take time out of their day to go and physically be somewhere for an hour or 2 hours. One of the things though that you might be able to do, if if I know that I have a couple of older ladies that, that's how they know parties, right? That's how they did things, with Tupperware parties and stuff like that. And I've told them, because they don't live near me, and I said, I will go live at your party. Like, if you would like to have a party at your house and invite your girlfriends to come over, I can go live and I can be available to you guys, on videos. That way I'm, of course, not physically there as you're across the country, but that way they can still have the feel of the things. I would send her everything ahead of time. I would go ahead and make sure that there's catalogs, samples, maybe a few full sets, so that she can go ahead and actually open things up, let them take a look at the what it's contained, what it contains, all that other kind of stuff, and the sizes, because sometimes obviously a lot of people don't understand how the sizes work. And so sometimes if you can have that there, people aren't as discouraged by I don't really understand it. I don't really know how it all works. I just not gonna bother. So that's an option for anybody that has a hostess that would like to, still do something that's in home, but you're not actually able to be there. And then the other thing is, I just completely lost my train of thought because there was one other thing.
I thought of something while you were talking about that, Katie.
Okay.
So when you guys are, you're starting your Facebook party, right? Or like specifically online. Whenever you're doing those, you definitely want to do them in groups. Events get lost, the notifications get lost. The second thing is, do not have your hostess mass invite people, because if she mass invites people, they're not aware of it, they won't pay attention to it, and the notifications, they get ignored, or people just leave the group. So have your post. I always approach this, and I tell my hostess to never invite more than 10 unless they're your close friends and you have reached out to every single one of them personally. And that's what I would suggest, because she has to, I always have my hostess reach out, get all of their addresses for me, give them to me, because I usually schedule my Facebook parties at least 2 weeks in advance if I can. And I tell her I'm going to mail a sample to every one of your guests, because not usually all of them are right in her vicinity. I'll send her a hostess packet, catalog, samples, nail files, and then a couple of full sets for her as a thank you and to show people that are there. And I also include some order forms for her so she can also take orders for me. And then, of course, I always put information about the opportunity too. Yes. So that's always in my hostess packets. So I'll send that out. I'll call her, and it's always I have tracking information. So when she gets that packet, I tell her, go over everything in it with her. And then I'm probably usually at this time, I'm still waiting on all of her addresses. And I ask, I follow up about the addresses. I was like, I need to get samples to these ladies. And I'm going to create your group now that you've reached out to them. I know that they're going to attend, they're interested. So your hostess has to really be active. If she's not active, you can tell her it won't be as lucrative for her, beneficial for her. So, and having it online is an easy way for everybody to kind of get together. So getting the addresses before the actual event and mailing out samples to get it to the guests in time, and I always tell them to hold on to it. Do not use the sample yet. Wait till our actual event so we can put it on together and I can teach you how to properly do it.
That's a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think expectations with the hostess, if you guys can get your hostess to go live with you, I don't know if anybody has done that. Has anybody had their hostess go live with them?
That's an awesome idea. I have not tried it though.
Yeah, it works.
You know how it works, where like, I don't know if any of you guys have ever had a product or something where somebody is, you don't give something the time of day until somebody that you actually trust or that you know well enough that they are like, oh my gosh, I love this, da 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 da. Then when you see them excited about it, not just adding you to a party because they're doing a Scentsy party and you'll love Scentsy and here's a group for it, but actually something that's a little bit foreign to you and they're excited, and if they join you on the live, because I know that I've had a few hostesses go live with me. Of course, not everybody's a big fan of it. We all know how intimidating lives can get for us, but if you have somebody who is willing to, and you can encourage that, if you're very clear about how it would make their friends, their family feel to have them present to chat about it, share their experience, any of the hiccups that we've all experienced. Of course, between solids, glitters, designs, we've all had weird things go on, and we kind of go, okay, this is what works best for me. When you have somebody else sharing it, it's not always, it doesn't become so salesy. We have that actual personal connection, and you can play off of each other. So, when she talks about, like, I had this kind of issue, and you can come back and say, you know what? That is totally normal. I know lots of girls that have that same thing, and this is what they've done about it. Or, nope, I'm the exact same way. Because for me personally, I have very, very smooth nails. So I have told girls before, I have literally taken out a fresh pack, put a nail on, and it just came right back off again. So I have to rough up my nails a little bit, or I'll put down a single coat of the OPI NB stuff. I don't know if any of you girls have tried this before. It's a nail strengthener, but it's stuff like that where if you can find out, little things like this that'll help them see it's not just one done, no big deal. If you have problems, it's kind of your fault, whatever, people will be more inclined to be responsive and engage. And so as far as the parties go, if you can get them to go live with you, it's a huge bonus.
Yeah, in order to do that, you don't want to try to go live from your computer. It only works on a cell phone. To bring in a guest for some reason. And then you want to turn your phone horizontally so you end up being side by side. It's kind of nice. Or it'll end up, if you do it this way, you'll be picture in picture. That's still fine too. I've done that several times and it's been okay. But to see you guys side by side, your phone needs to be sideways when you do it. And you can't turn it once it starts. So it has to be before you start to do it. So how you do that is you'll go live first, and then it'll pop up, invite somebody to join you, not watch, to join you. And you just click the invite, and then you find their name as soon as they're watching you, and it'll bring them to give them an invite, and they can accept it, and it pulls them on too. It's a great way to, as Katie was saying, talk through things, demo how to actually properly put it on. Your friend is giving a third-party verification because it's not coming from you. You're a stranger. Usually you're a stranger. They're the friends. This is their friends. They're going to believe them over you. So it's great to hear their testimonies is key. And then you're just chatting back and forth, and then she's chatting with her friends. It becomes a good party. I've done that with every one of my hostesses from the beginning, and it works out really well. The only time I did not have it go well is my friend mass invited people against. She was in network marketing. She thought she knew what she was doing, and she mass invited like 300 people to our group. Or at the time I did, it was in our group. And she just added all of her friends, and I was like, this isn't going to go well. And she was very, very adamant this is what she wanted to do. I was like, did you reach out to them? And she's like, yeah. She didn't, because you don't have time to reach out to 300 people. And she got like enough to cover a party, and that was it. And that was just from her friend, her family. So that's why I say don't mass invite. Be very, have your hostess give you addresses, so you can mail these samples to them. They know what to expect it, and tell them specifically, don't try it until our live tonight. I've had people do it anyway. So, don't be upset if they're like, oh, I already tried it and I still have it on, which is great, because then that's another testimony. However, I've also had people like, oh, I tried it and it didn't work for me. I was like, here, let's do this together. I'm going to show you how to do it. Like, oh, I didn't do that. I didn't do that properly. I had just put lotion on my hands, and like, that's why it didn't work. So this is why I said to hold on to it, which is fine. And then I'll be like, I'll send you out some more samples so you can try it again. And now that you know how to do it. So that's one. So Facebook groups, have your hostess only invite 10 unless she promises to reach out to people more than 10 with their addresses, so that she's really involved, right? Okay, so that's one. The next thing is what you can do is if you're tech savvy or what, you can do a little video for your hostess, like, or record it on your phone and just send it to them, either text or message. Just say, you know, hey, like little reminders, hey, your hostess package is on the way. You know, I can't wait to get the rest of your addresses from your friends so I can pamper them with some free samples. I just wanted to say hi, and then some other little things, and that's it. Like a video message, it works, or a voice message. You can make a generic video too if you want. That's so that you don't have to constantly duplicate it to save time. That you can just save on your phone, and every hostess you just send that to, you know, 3 days after you mail the packet, it should be there. Or when you mail it, let her know, and then call her 3 days later, because usually that's when it arrives, and walk through it with her. And then reminders, get little videos maybe to send reminders that she can send out to her friends, or you can send it so that, because they're in your group now, you can reach out to them via Messenger. So making something, some type of, you know, the voice message, video chat works really well. If you don't want to do that or not comfortable with that, a graphic too that she can, that you can put information on and send to them, like, just wanted to let you know your sample's in the mail. I'm super excited for you to try this product. Don't try it yet. We're going to go do this together at Caitlin's party at 1 p.m. via live. If you can't make the party, let me know, and I'll send you a video on how to do it, and we can walk through that together. So it's more the personal connection. People are going to resonate with more and respond better. It's a little bit of work, but if you do the calendar management, you'll be able to do this. It's not, you know, if you just like, oh, I need to do this, this, and this, and you don't plan, it's going to stress you out, because I was one of those before I did that. I used to be a hot mess. I'm still a hot mess, but I'm a little more organized now when it comes to things. And I do have some hostess coaching worksheets and stuff to kind of help you with stuff like this. It's unfortunately, it's still branded with one of my other companies. So as soon as I finish transitioning it to brand it to us or generic, I'll post it in our group so it can help you. And it gives you a list of like things you can do, what you need to do, and timeline of what you can do too. I do have one, I don't know if it's in this group or the Rockstars group. There are some like hostess checklists too that you can use, so it kind of tells you what to do, when to do it, and keep.
I think that's the Rockstars.
Okay, yeah, I may not have moved that over. So there's that. That should help a lot. If you guys can try at least a few of those ideas, let me know how it goes for you,
Yep,
and
definitely.
we'll try to tweak it to see what you want to do with it. And again, this is your business. We're just here to support you in whatever way you want. If it's, like I said earlier, if you join us to make friendships, just to get out of the house every now and then, you know, or make a lucrative income, whatever it is, Caitlin, Katie, and I are here to support you 100% on what that is. And I don't know that. That's something you have to figure out that you want to do. But we're here for you no matter what. Katie, did you want to say anything about the hostesses and the parties anymore? About that?
All I'm gonna say is, so something that kind of dawned on me.
Mhm.
Well, so the thing that I was forgetting that I wanted to bring up was, I think it's really important to be very clear with your hostess what you're gonna need from her to have a successful party. I think that as a stylist, I think there's some obligation to, you know, say, the more you engage, the better this is going to go. The more you front load, you know, this party and make sure people know what to expect, what this kind of product is. You know, I will make sure everybody has a sample when you provide an email or email address. When you provide an address, I'll be sure to go live. If you're willing to go live with me, you will have a much better chance of having a great party. I think if you're very communicative and very clear on what they would need to do in order to have a successful party, I think you're going to be, they'll have a better idea. Because I know a lot of people like to sit and take the idea or take the route of, You don't have to do anything. I'll take care of it all. And then they want to sign up and have a party. Well, yes, that's right. You're doing most of the legwork. You're the one that has to have the material, has to have all the, the graphics and the information and be ready to go live and all that. But you need them to engage, and you need them to be willing to engage. If they're just there and they're just part of the group watching it all happen, then yeah, it's not going to be a very successful party. So I think if you guys are very clear from, Go Street, like, this is what I'm going to need from you in order for it to be worth your time and worth mine. This is what it's going to be. And, hopefully you're up for it. And the other part about that too, is that if they do end up being interested in the business, all of us know that you guys have seen the graphics that say like, oh, I can run my business from my phone. And yeah, that's true to a degree, right? But we all know that if you're going to take a business, any place, it does not just happen. There is some work that goes into it. So I think that we all need to be just a little bit more, I guess careful is not the right word, but just more cognizant and more intentional with what we're saying. Make sure we're choosing our words wisely, so that way if somebody decides to join the team and they're not making $10,000 a month, they're not sitting there saying like, everybody told me this is so easy, it shouldn't be a problem. Well, I mean, it takes some time, and it takes some effort, and it takes some calendar planning, and it takes some, sometimes it is late nights, and sometimes it is only when, you're managed to shut the door with the kids outside, and lock it so they can't come in. Am I the only one that does that? But anyway, so
this business takes time. Like, it doesn't go overnight. Now, I'm going to share you with one of my leaders. She's actually surpassed me in rank. I don't know if you've seen, if you know who she is, Brittany Metke. She was a prior felon convicted for drug use, junkie. She got herself clean, got married, and was doing okay. But because of that, she had a felony record. She couldn't find a decent job, to make money. So she joined Color Street hoping to, do something. But let me tell you, she struggled for months. No recruits, no sales hardly. So for about 6 months, she was about to give up. She was like, I keep getting no's. Nobody's wanting to join my team. And, she let that negative self-talk get in her head for a little bit. She to the point where she almost quit. And then, we had a conversation, and I told her, don't give up yet. And so did her sponsor, Katie Harbison. I'm sure you've heard her name too. She's the number one our team, because of the cap volume, she's like number one. And she makes more than I do. We all had a conversation, and she's like, all right, I'm going to try this again. So again, she got very specific on her why. She got very specific on her goals, and she started sharing her story. She thought nobody would take her seriously if she shared something so personal. But because she did that, she started attracting people to her because she was so vulnerable. Example, I'm sharing my story about how sick I've been and what happened to me because I want to help other people. So when you go on social media, do it with purpose and not to gain the next sale or transaction. You want to gain the next, customer, friendship. And the reason why, you want to do that is it's going to keep your business going. The people, it's not a fast overnight thing. It's slowly building those connections, and keeping in like genuine friendships. And when you do all of this, you get specific, your whys, your goals, your calendar management, and your avatar, who you're talking to, that's your target market. You will start attracting the people, the customers, the hostesses, and your new sponsors that you can help change their lives, because you never know who's your next Brittany. You never know who your next Brittany is going to be. That somebody you may not know their story. Okay, so a hostess coaching, that's really key, and I think it'll help you with your parties. let us know how that goes. If you try those little tweaks with your business and your parties that you have going on, let me know. The also thing you might want to work on with is customer service, especially because we have new launches. You wanted to know how you launch your new businesses. And sorry, I know we're talking a lot and we've already been almost an hour. Well, I'll try to wrap this up here soon. So the next, customer service and new launches. So you have a warm market, right? And you possibly have already developed a good customer base. If you haven't developed a customer base, go through the Frank's list: friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, and K for kids connections if you have children. So think of people that you know and write them down. Don't prejudge. Those are the people you're going to contact whenever you have the time that you've allocated to reach out to people. So reach out to these people. Your prior customers, if you've had this base, I would reach out to them. Hey, there's a couple ways you can do this. You can reward people for purchasing for the month. If you have a new launch happening the next month, you can reward them and say, like in your VIP groups, and suggest if you've made a purchase, you get a preview of our new line launching next month. You get exclusive rights to view this. If you haven't purchased yet this month to support me, it's not too late. You too can still get a preview. So if and whenever they purchase, you can send a message like, oh, thank you so much. Here's our exciting new line. I can't wait to show you. I can't wait for it to actually arrive. I got our fall bundle. I'll have it in my hands and I'll be able to show it live in our group. But because you've been loyal and you purchased from me this month, you get the sneak peek. So it's kind of making them feeling very, very special. So that's one suggestion. The next one would be definitely, I think that one's working really well. Reaching out, if you want to, just reach out to all of your customers that have ever bought from you. So it doesn't have to be in that month. That's just a way of generating sales for that month for you. But if you're not comfortable doing that, you would want to reach out to everyone and just personally send them a message. Thank you for being such a loyal customer and supporting me with my business. I just wanted to share exciting news. We have this new product launch, and you're going to love these strips. And you can look back what they previously purchased and be like, I really think you would like this, this, and this based on the choices you've already chosen. Let me know if I can help you, find the next shades for you. So just kind of like a little, you're not really selling them anything. You're just showing them, and then also helping them find another design that is similar to something they have purchased before. So, and you can get your customer list in your back office message center. If you go to the message center, it'll pull up all of your previous customers, and then it has like their info, or you can message them on Facebook or text or email, even whatever works the best for you. The next thing I would do is periodically, people who you haven't heard from a while that are in your groups, or customers that have bought from you in the past, send them a little card in the mail with some samples, or if you have maybe free sets, maybe you did your own nail bar party and you just wanted to reward them from the credits that you earned, you can put a little strip in there and say, I haven't seen you in a while. I hope all is well. Thank you for supporting my business. I hope you enjoy this nail set or samples on me, and include a new catalog too, or current catalog, I should say. So you can just go through your VIP group, your customer orders, see who's not been active, see who hasn't ordered in such a long time, and send that out to them. That usually generates it. it also shows excellent customer service. And a lot of people in our industry don't take the extra time to do the follow-ups, the care, the customer care. And our customers want to feel like they are the VIP. So you need to, just think about it. Like, what stores have you went to, or restaurants that you went to, and you've had a poor customer service? It wasn't that great, and was it? And you probably didn't want to go back. But if you have excellent customer service, you always have them in the forefront. Like, I'm going there because they're amazing. Same concept with us from working from home. If you don't have a lot of time, you still can do it. Go break it down in the power hour, small increments of time doing little tasks there. Get organized, list your tasks out, put it on your calendar. I use iCalendar. It's the easiest thing for me. It meshes with my kids' calendars, my husband's, and I put everything on there. It's just easier for me.
And I wanted to jump in with the one thing. Customer service is really huge, but I think another big part to remember, guys, is I know for me, I am always so busy. Like, there's a bunch of things that I know I've wanted to, go and buy, or I want to get more information about, or whatever. And I won't remember to actually make a purchase until that person like writes back and says like, hey, you'd mentioned wanting to get this, were you still interested? Did you need any help with it or whatever else? And then I'm like, yes, I do. Will you please send me the link again? I've been wanting to do it. I just, I remember it when I'm in the shower, or I remember it when, I'm out of cell phone service or whatever it is. And so I know at the end of last year, I was trying to clean out some inventory, and I was sending out a bunch of French sets that I had extra. And I was sending it to all my customers that had made a purchase throughout the year. And, I know that not everybody has an opportunity to do that. A sample is wonderful. A new catalog is a perfect way to send something out to your previous customers from the beginning of the year, or even from, all your customers that you ever had, and just say, wanted you to have the first copy, that I got in, and, take a look, let me know if you have a wish list, maybe we can get you a party so that you're, not going broke trying to get every set that you love. But I think when you do that, it helps just kind of put in, like she's saying, it's a customer service thing, but it's also just, our lives are so busy. And so people tend to forget to contact you because they do want them. And it happens all the time. But I got probably 4 orders just off of that, because people were like, oh man, I've been meaning to, thank you so much. They message me and they'd say, I've been meaning to place the order. Thank you so much for, the reminder and for the catalog and stuff like that. And then I've got another buy 3 or 2 buy 3, get 1 frees in my back office, because it was just that little tap. And it doesn't have to be a, hey, did you want to order? It's I wanted you to be able to have one of the first copies of the spring catalog, so I made sure to, that you were on my list to send it out first round. Let me know what what I could set aside for you, or what's on your wish list, and maybe we can book you a party. So it kind of ties in with customer service, because it just helps. I think that's how it helps me when other people do that for me personally.
So like when I'm closing a party, sorry, random. Katie, that was a great idea. I like the French too. Sorry. I'm like,
okay, well, so yeah, to just say that really fast, people, I don't know how anybody else is. There are some stylists that sell French like crazy. I think I've sold maybe 2 sets of French just from my own stock. So I'd had a ton. And I can't tell you how many people fell in love with French because I just went ahead and decided, because I had a bunch from Jumpstart rewards. So I wasn't, taking them out of my own pocket per se, or, from your parties, your own, if you do your own party for yourself. I just sent them out and people fell in love with them. And so if they get a chance to try it, then we all know the product it's worth that. If you're interested in it, there's no pressure, and you're not going to be spending that, extra money because it's $14, instead of 11 or 12 or 13. I got a ton of sales for French after that. So that was just kind of if you have the ability to do something like that or treat your VIPs, that's awesome. And that more power to you.
Yeah. I sell a lot of French. Everybody loves our French. I like them too, but I don't get noticed because they look just like a salon did them. So everybody thinks you went to the salon. So I try to wear the more loud, vibrant colors to get more interaction.
Yeah, I mix mayonnaise with French. That way I can still use it, but I don't have salon. Yeah.
So to follow, I have a couple of things that I do. So for every party that I do, I have very specific steps. So when I'm at the party, as soon as it's done, that people that have ordered, I immediately address thank you cards and write them out and then ship them the next day. I don't keep my parties open long. I do them for the actual live event is 24 hours. We close the next day because we've had, at least 2 weeks. They've got their samples. We've done them together. They don't need to think anymore. We're right then and there, 24 hours. I send a thank you at close to everyone that ordered and the hostess. I send a notification to all customers that are ordered during the party when the product ships. And then, like I was saying earlier, I will follow up 5 days later after I know that they at least received the product to make sure they received it, everything was okay. If they've tried them yet, they have any, issues with anything at all. And then I will probably on day 8, I'll send another little message to them, a video tip on the product, how to apply something, some type of tip, nail care tip, something, it doesn't have to be a video. It could be like a little, care, like be sure to moisturize your nails, but don't do it within, a 24-hour period of putting on our product, or before, I should say. But be sure you do that, like little tips like that. I also will say, I have a VIP group. I would love for you to join it. I also say that during the party and provide the link, but then this is like a second in your face, here it is, without being too iffy. Then after that, my next thing is I'll do, every 2 weeks, I'll follow up with at least 10 people that have purchased with me. And I call it my follow-up Friday, and I just check in with them. Hey, how are you doing? I'm trying to build the friendships. I really don't talk about anything Color Street. I'm just saying, hey, unless they, we have something to share that's a new launch, or unless they booked a party for me, because I've asked every customer already that. And the hostess, be sure you always ask your hostess, because they know, they're seeing what you're doing and they're prime for joining the business. So that is, we're at like an hour and 10 minutes. Caitlin, is there anything other you want to cover? We could go on and on about this.
I love that. I have like a full page of notes.
Okay.
So you mentioned your hostess packet. Do you have certain things that you send out in your hostess packet?
Yeah, a catalog, order forms, samples, nail file, a couple of sets because I'm giving to her for free. And, you don't have to send the free sets yet, because I know some stylists aren't financially able to do that yet. You don't have to send them yet until their party meets the minimum requirement. And whenever you send the thank you card, that's when you can do that.
Okay.
Or you can do it whenever they put in their order, if you want to do it that way. It's, you're really your choice how you want to do that. But yeah, the catalog, order forms, samples, nail files, opportunity flyer, something on the business to kind of pique their interest. And that's it.
Have an opportunity flyer somewhere?
Yeah, I think, yeah, it's electronic. It just basically, like, the compensation plan is really what I send. I'm like, hey, have you ever thought about doing this? You'd make that, something, right? Write something like personal, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just a summary, this compensation summary. I just fold it up in there. Put it in there. And then
if you're doing it in-home, like we were talking about, if they thought that they would be able to be doing it in-home, obviously send a few things of that. Also, I would suggest sending the alcohol swabs, because It just helps remind, for some of us, I know I don't necessarily need to use those because I rough my nails up with a file. So if it's not there, they may not think to let somebody use it. If they're going to, have people gathered with them and do a live together, they'll talk about it, but then if there's nothing there, it isn't always a thing that people have alcohol in their house.
Yeah.
Of course, but like rubbing alcohol in their house to just say like, oh, okay, well, I can get this out and you guys can, for the demo that we're going to do with the live tonight. So I also include alcohol swabs just so that they've got that in case they need it.
Yeah, I forgot that. Yeah, but I do that too.
Yeah.
I'm thinking offhand. I'm trying to see where my hostess packet, because I haven't hosted an actual party since I've been sick. And my husband moved everything around. But yeah, I have a lot of repeat customers. So my repeat customers, I mean, when I was in the hospital, I just sent them little texts that the Valentine's Day sets and the St. Patrick's Day nails. And they went crazy with that and bought it all up when I was in the hospital. And that's all I did. And I didn't have energy for much. And that's all I did. So it's really, don't overthink things. You don't have to be perfect. You're not going to be perfect. We're human. Keep plugging away with it. Don't get discouraged when things aren't exactly going the way you want them to, because they will. Like, I shared Brittany's story. She does it. She, 6 months, barely could sell 300 to now she's making over $40,000 a month. Actually, I think she's at 70,000. So it's life-changing, right? And she changed what she did. She worked on personal development. Same thing with me. That's what changed my business. I worked in personal development will work and help you in other areas of your life. It'll help you be a better mother, better friend, daughter, anything in life. gives you a different perspective and a positive mindset. Helps you think of the things differently. So I can't recommend that enough. There's a couple of things if you're good with, if you don't have time to read, which I know we're all busy, may not have time to read, but whatever time you do, make sure you do take some time for yourself. I have the app called Audible, and I listen in my bathtub to personal development books because I just don't have the time to sit and read. So when I'm in the bathtub, I put my headphones on. My family knows Mommy has 1 hour in the bathtub. Do not bother her. And that's my time. So I listen in that, and that's how, I've helped myself and boosted my confidence, because I used to be really, really shy. Still am shy on things. And so I'm continuously working on my personal development. So the books I'd recommend you reading is, or listening to, it's called Get Over Your Damn Self is one of them. It's amazing. Anything by Rachel Hollis is really great. The other one is a book by Og Mandino. It's The Greatest Salesman in the World. That one is a little bit different read. And if you are listening to it, it's based in biblical times. So like when Jesus was born, this guy was like the top salesman, and he had an apprentice or somebody who's worked with him that he loved like a child, but wasn't his own. And he was getting ready to pass away, and he had the secret of what's made him the best salesman. And it's based on these 10 scrolls. It's really powerful. Lots of people who have done really well in network marketing have like praised this book. I love it. It's really, really good. So I would, start with those. Pick one, start with something, work on your personal development, go back to focusing on hostess coaching. I think once you get your hostess will every hostess work with you like this? No, it's going to happen. And don't take that personally. It's their problem, not yours. You move on from those experiences, but they still probably connected you to people. Reach out to them. There's nothing wrong with reaching out to them, thanking them for even attending. If they didn't buy anything, you never know. You can get your next customer or sponsor from that just by taking that extra work. So personal development, work on your why, your goals, do your calendars, get the hours that you're going to work, build your avatar, who you're talking to when you do post things on social media, and then incorporate some type of system for follow-up from customer orders, okay? I know that was a lot, and that's a lot to take on, a lot of tasks right there, but let me know if you implement some of these recommendations. Let Katie know, let Caitlin know. We'd love to hear how it goes for you guys. Especially if something you're trying that we recommend isn't working for you, then we'll tweak it and see, come back to the table. We'll figure out something that's see where something's happening, and maybe we can try something else. I mean, this is something we could talk on for hours on it. I mean, there's so many books written about network marketing and how to do it, but I think this is a good stopping point. Do you think so, Caitlin?
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay, good. All right, if you have questions, let me know. You want help it more individually, we can do this weekly, every 2 weeks, whatever you guys want to do, we're here for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Laura and Katie.
Absolutely.
You're welcome. Anytime. Take care, guys. So good to see the baby too.
Okay,
I love the little baby in the background. I love kids. Love kids. All right, guys. Have a great day and a weekend.
Bye.
Bye.